Fetty Fitness. Back at it again. Yo, day 346, man. Up early in the morning, getting finna get some work done. Finna get better today, finna get 1% better. Okay, man. It's been a long coming this year, man. A lot of pain, man. Putting in a lot of work. Make sure I share with a friend. We growing every day.
Now, the beauty of cold calling is that you do not need to have any resources to do it other than a couple of dollars to throw up onto a VoIP account. It is an incredible opportunity that removes any kind of excuses of you going out and really building your business. And first of all, I do want to state that obviously cold calling and being in the trenches is doing the hard yards. This is not an easy task. However, if you want to be successful, you have to pay the price. And you know, the things that I really want to cover with you is really kind of your attitude determines your altitude. And really knowing that you need to kind of breathe this attitude of success and be really laser focused and be really hungry in order to get the most out of the script and in order to make it work for you. So some of the points that I want to cover with you is you need to kind of create this belief that you can sell anybody. So any call that you can jump on, anybody can be sold. Either they're selling you all the excuses why they don't have the time to speak to you right now or why they don't have the money, or you're selling them on all the reasons why this is going to be really beneficial for them. And you also need to really have a fundamental belief that the product or service that you're selling is worth 10 times of what you're charging. You need to get sold every day on really this problem that you're solving for your clients
35.
And knowing and fully believing that you are the best person to go out there and solve this problem for them and for your marketplace. And you basically have to be willing to follow up forever, right? The fortune is in the follow-up in sales. You know, I've seen a lot of stuff out there where people are saying that you can close people on one call and all this kind of stuff. The majority of sales are made between the 5th and the 12th contact. So you really need to have that in your mindset and know from the outset that this is going to require a follow-up process. And my rule of thumb is that you want to follow up forever until either they say yes or no, right? And once they've kind of said a hard no to you, then you can move on. But up until that case, we will not be tolerating any maybes or anything like this. This is not a decision that they can just put on the shelf and come back to when they're ready. We need a decision and we will follow up until we get that decision. Now, the other thing that I want you to know is that on the call, he who is in control is the one that wins. You must take control on these calls, even by force, meaning that you always need to be leading, right? You're the person that's in charge, you are the authority, you are the expert, and you are the proven master, and you need to basically take that prospect by the hand and show them that you're in control. The other thing is that you must treat everybody respectfully, right? So it's a very fine balance of having that respect, but also being the authority as well. You need to treat people with respect. If you want to be respected, then you need to respect people. However, there's some clear do's and don'ts that you don't want to do on the call. You do not want to thank people for your time. You know, you are the authority. It's almost lucky that they're speaking to you on this subject and that you've called them with this opportunity. The other thing is that you never ever want to depend on one call or one deal. I see this all the time in sales. You know, someone will get off a call, they'll feel really good about themselves, and before the sale is even made, they're kind of patting themselves on the back and they're kind of feeling like, you know, that they're almost being rewarded because they've had a really good sales call. And then they might kind of anticipate them closing that deal later on in the week, and when that falls through, you know, it's kind of just breaks their whole demeanor and breaks their attitude and breaks any momentum that they've had, because in their mind, they've kind of said, okay, this person's going to buy, and then when that deal falls through, you know, they're losing that momentum. So you want to have your pipeline so full that, you know, just one deal isn't going to take any steam or any wind from your sales. You can keep that momentum going because you can rest at night knowing fully well that you have a solid pipeline of deals that you're going to close. Now, the other thing that I want to say is that you must pay the price for success, right? I'm telling you right now that this process will not be easy. However, it will be highly rewarding. If you think that you can kind of go out there and people are just going to be throwing money at you on these cold calls, then, you know, you've got another thing coming for you. So really what I want you to do is really take the mindset that this is going to be a stretch. This is going to stretch you as a person, but it's also going to be an incredible growing, you know, exercise
70.
for you, and you're really going to learn a lot from this process, right? However, you need to understand that, and you need to go in there with that mindset. And the thing that I keep coming back to is that, you know, successful people do all the things that unsuccessful people aren't willing to do. You're in a room, you've got a headset on, you've got your hands free so you can take notes, and you are really, really focused. And the first part of making these calls is essentially you're going to be met by the gatekeeper. And that is really kind of the first hurdle that we're going to meet, is how do we get past that gatekeeper, or, you know, the person that's holding us back from pitching the person that we really need to get through. So you're going to be calling on businesses, and the gatekeeper is 9 out of 10 times going to be the receptionist, and in some instances they may have a personal assistant that you need to get through as well. However, for this instance, we're going to be just talking about the receptionist. So you're going to call on them, they're going to answer the phone and say, you know, hello, this is XYZ company, how can I help you? So I'm going to break this script into two parts. One, if you know the decision maker's name from creating a list previously, and you're calling on people and you have their first name already. And then I'm also going to show you how to call on people when you do not know the decision maker's name. So if you do, basically what you're going to do is you're going to just call up, and you're always just going to use their first name. If you know this guy's name's John Smith, you're not going to say, hey, could I please speak to John Smith? Because that's what a salesperson would do, right? We're trying to go under the radar here and slip in like we already know this person. So we're going to say, hi, could you please put me on to John? Just straight through. You want to know that person by first name. And a pro tip on that is, when the receptionist answers the phone, really be attentive and listen to their name. They'll generally say, oh, hi, it's Rebecca from XYZ company. Then you would say, hey, Rebecca, it's Sabri, could I please speak with John? Immediately, it's like a first by first name basis, and you're thinking, okay, this guy knows my name, he knows John's name, he must know them, and they'll put you straight through. However, if they don't and they say, who's calling? You know, say, tell them it's Sabri. Do you know where he's in right now? So right now, what am I doing? I'm in control. I'm not just answering the question that she's asking me, but then I'm also hitting her with another question, right? I'm saying, yeah, look, tell him it's Sabri. Do you know where he's in right now? I am taking control once again of this call. Now, she says, yeah, look, what company are you calling from? Just tell him it's King Kong. He should be familiar with us. I don't mind holding, thank you. Again, I'm making a very brief, very kind of brash. I just want to get over this and not be asking, you know, with an upward inflection at the end of what I'm saying, because I'm busy, I'm authoritative. I just want to get through to the person that I need to speak to. And the less that you allude to more details, the less they'll feel like they can ask you questions, and the higher your chances of just sliding under the radar and getting through to the person that you need to speak to. So then, if you do not know the decision maker's name, let's run through that one. If you've just got a list of businesses that you're calling on and you have no idea, you know, who the person you're calling from, and that's how I did it. I was just calling businesses that were running Google AdWords, and I was just going in as cold as you can ever go. Okay, so basically for this, you just go, oh, hi, it's Sabri here. I'm calling about whatever you're calling about. Now, a tip that I've found is, if you're calling on someone for Google AdWords, what you want to do is, you don't want to say, hey, I'm calling about your advertising or your marketing, right?